Hey everybody, here in Cypress National Park, South Florida. It's a nice park. It's big, lots of birds. It's not the most scenic park probably. Like all of southern Florida, it's pretty flat. Totally flat as a matter of fact. But it is one of the few places where you probably get the opportunity to view gators and panthers. Although I'm sure the panthers are watching you more than you're watching them. So I took the van down for a test drive down to Miami and Key West for 3 days. Everything went pretty well. Van handled great. The power's working real well. Put that NOCO in. I forgot to mention that on the first video. So the idea with this thing is it's supposed to charge both your house battery and your starter battery, first starting with the starter battery, and then when that's charged it goes back to the house batteries. The wiring instructions are very unclear, as far as what alternator you have and how you're supposed to wire it, so I went with the most basic setup. I didn't mess around with the regular voltage regulator wires. I have a feeling I should, because although I know it's charging both battery banks, I don't know that it's doing the isolating and regulating that it should be doing. So if anybody out there has any experience with the Ford van alternator and the NOCO isolator, I'd love to hear from you. Key West was great. Nice little test run. Did get woken up by the police one morning. But, I stayed too long. It was my fault. I was parked right in front of somebody's house and they called. They were cool. I was polite and cooperative. Got the verbal warning and some verbal kudos on the van build. So that was the excitement. Everything else is seems to be working good. So one of the mods I made after the trip was to create some blackouts. I originally cut some out of the 5mm underlay because I just had some. It was difficult to get precise cuts and keep the light leakage out. So I went to Pearl Art Center and bought this foam board, 40" by 60" for like 12 bucks. Cut it down. I had enough for all 4 windows, so that was nice. Just affixed a couple pieces of Velcro. And so if I want to go into stealth mode, bingo. I might have to add some more Velcro, but for now it's working. On the other side, I'm going to keep that one in full time, so I went ahead and made it a little smaller and fit it right into the window. It basically stays in there nice and tight, no leakage. I also found out on the trip that these things are great for keeping people from looking in, but you also can't look out, so I cut a couple peepholes and just fixed that with some Velcro. Now, with all the windows blacked out, that's working out pretty good, but of course you got the whole front of the cabin. So what I did is just put some Velcro up top, sewed some Velcro with dental floss onto a blanket. Little fleece blanket. It's kind of light, so it doesn't really pull down too much on the Velcro. And it works pretty well. It doesn't keep out 100% of the light, but like 99.9, so that's working out pretty well for me. Okay, so here you can see the Blue Sky solar controllers trickle charging. The panels are working good in conjunction with the NOCO battery isolator, and the batteries are doing real well too. Those Deca 6 volts in series. Full charge seems to be 12.8 volts. Haven't gotten up real early in the morning, like 5 or 6 before the sun comes up and it starts charging, to see exactly what my depth of discharge is. But I haven't seen it below 12.6 yet, so we're doing pretty good on the power consumption. Down here in southern Florida, and it's just turned springtime, so we're in the mid 70s, upper 70s. It's a little warm, not hot yet, but definitely gets a little stuffy in here at this point. So I went ahead and got this fan from Target, brand Room Essentials. Only draws about 0.4 amps, which is nice. Also, it comes with the USB plug, so I'm using that in conjunction with my Bell outlet there that I got from Pep Boys. The Pep Boys unit does come with a 5 amp inline fuse. The only reason I mentioned that is I did pop one. Not a big surprise. I was trying to charge my phone, run the fan, and start up the laptop at the same time. The only reason I mentioned that is just a reminder you guys to have some spare fuses. Luckily I did, otherwise it would have been a miserable night. But getting back to the fan, it's not going to knock you over with the wind stream, but it does make a considerable difference, and it helps out a lot to make it comfortable. With all that said, it's really pretty evident that when things heat up in the summertime, gonna need a little bit more. So I went ahead and bought this Sunforce 1000 solar ceiling vent from West Marine for about 60 bucks. Blows in, blows out, works off the solar during the day, also charges the battery so you can use it at night. So it too doesn't push that much air, but hopefully it'll make it bearable in here. We'll see. One drawback to this vent is it doesn't have a damper, so I'm gonna need to build a cover so that the hot air doesn't leak out in the cold weather. So that's all for now. Be good, everybody. Safe travels.